Hey YouTube, it's Brian. It's been, what's it been? So I had 2 weeks, sorry about the spinning. I had 2 weeks of not having a video, and for that I apologize. But, when things come up, things come up. I definitely had a lot of work to do. So what I want to talk about, just briefly, is the importance of not being too influenced by what other people think of what you're doing. So yesterday I had the opportunity to go out with one of the co-founders of my company that I work for, and we went to a real fancy place, and it was a great time, right? And at one point we talked about how we're doing in terms of business, and I asked, like, how do you feel when we're compared to particular other companies? And I told him, if it was me, I would worry a lot about the other competition because, some of them are more far along than we are. After all, we're a startup, right? And his response was essentially, what competition? Like, why would I worry about the competition? He said, if what you're doing is thinking about the competition, then you're not going to get much done. And to be quite honest, if you're focused on, I don't like the word sabotage, but kind of like sabotaging your opponents or winning them out, or what by whatever means, if your goal is to top everyone else, then I don't think your goal is all that one of a good one. He made me realize, like, if your goal is to start a company and your goal is to make a successful company, you find out what you're passionate for, you find out what people need, and you start to work on it. Doesn't matter if you have competitors, that's fine. Competitors will always exist. In fact, when I first signed with the company I work at, as far as I knew and as far as my interviews went, I could only list 2 possible competitors, and I asked how they felt about them. Now, I realized that, there's a good dozen of companies that are very close proximity to the things that my company does. And me, I sometimes worry, like, oh, what are they doing? Like, I tend to compare myself to other people or other things, right? And you really can't do that. It's going to slow you down a tremendous amount. You're going to start looking at what other people do so much that you can't even look at the work that you are doing and start to really think about how you can improve your product, yourself, how you're going to accomplish your dreams if you're focusing on other people who have got to their dream before you. You just have to keep going. It was pretty inspirational to hear, and I want to spread that to you. The big old advice for today: don't worry about your competitors. You can think about them a little bit, but they're not a big part of the function in the grand scheme of things. So don't worry. Haters gonna hate.